Hello, morning. Hello.
Hello.
Second.
Australian food and animals. Q&A right at the end. I think with the last session we had quite a good discussions and questions about that was a nice segue into today's session. Both schools will have presentations, I'm assuming. So, Chancellor, would you like to kick it off with Australian food?
Yes, we've just got a little welcome from Daisy first.
Sure, yes, we can go ahead with that.
Say hello. It's a bit embarrassing, yeah, it's probably somewhere in the last That's okay. All right, so we've got a couple of students here that are, I should probably say hello. I'm tucked in here. We've got a few students that could not join us today because they have exams. We've got a lot of students that have, this is our exam week, so they've had to go and do their exams, unfortunately. And also is supervising an exam as well. So we're just down a few numbers, but we're still, all the people that are here are very excited. And we've got a few new students as well. So I'm going to hand over to the girls and they're going to talk about Australian foods. I'll just bring the PowerPoint up first.
Yes, yes.
没有那个破音的铃声。
Okay, are we right to start? Excellent. Okay, I'll hand over to the girls.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm Emily and I'm going to be partnered with I'm Harper and I'm Harper. And we're going to be speaking about all the different foods we have in Australia today. So Australia is a multicultural country built on immigration from all over the world. We have many different foods from many different cultures. Australian food has been influenced for as long as we have been a country. As the first white settlers were from England, this is where a lot of our food stems from. Other cultures, such as the Chinese or the Japanese, have influenced this over time.
Let us know if we're going a bit quick.
That's right, because maybe slow down just a bit, but that's okay.
Australia. Most towns in Australia have restaurants from other cultures. Popular ones include Chinese, Thai, Indian and Japanese restaurants. We also have a lot of fast food restaurants, including McDonald's, which we call Macca's, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Hungry Jack's. School canteen at Chancellor State
那个音源线的部分再重发一遍。
salad, curries, and sandwiches. Most students at our college bring packed lunch. These usually look like a sandwich, a piece of fruit, a packet of chips, or other snacks.
So in Australia, most schools do not provide lunch for their students. Students either bring their canteen.
有没有看到？第一个就是了。
Does not have many foods that are actually Australian and originated in this country, except for Vegemite, lamingtons, pavlova, and dairy bread.
You want to describe Vegemite?
Vegemite is a spread similar to butter. It's quite strong, and you often have to put it on a piece of bread with butter so that it doesn't get overwhelming. And fairy bread is bread with butter and sprinkles put on top, which sounds insane, but it tastes very good.
And what do foreigners often do with Vegemite? They
put a lot of Vegemite on, but all you need is a very small amount, less than a teaspoon. And yeah.
Excellent. And can you describe what lamingtons are and what pavlova are?
Lamingtons is sponge cake dipped in a chocolate-like mixture and sprinkled with coconut. We often have them around Christmas time or on Australia Day. Pavlova is basically a large meringue with often fruit and cream on top.
Very good. And what's fairy bread? They probably haven't heard of fairy bread. Oh, you described it like that, sorry. I'm so nervous. Excellent, good job.
A classic Aussie tradition for a quick meal is a sausage sizzle. These are often at park barbecues or sold outside big hardware stores on a Saturday morning to raise money for community groups. For example, kindergartens often go to the hardware stores, which generally is Bunnings, and so they do that, and then the sausages and everything they sell goes to raise money for their cause.
And sporting clubs.
And yes, sporting clubs and just, yeah.
Excellent.
Aussies, you like to have a barbecue. Barbecues are where you cook a lot of stuff on a grill. So some examples of what you would cook are sausages, burger patties if you're going to have some burgers, and basically anything you can cook on a grill.
Yeah. And when might you have a barbecue?
You might have one for the weekend, or you might have one around Christmas, or just maybe a special holiday.
Excellent. Okay.
At Christmas, we like to eat fresh prawns, chicken, leg ham, and fruit pudding. We also like to have some lamingtons, pavlovas, like mentioned in the start. And yeah,
Excellent. And how much do we eat at Christmas? Okay.
Seafood is very popular in Australia. Many Australians enjoy prawns, mud crabs, fish, and Moreton Bay bugs and lobsters. These are commonly found at the beach. You can often order seafood and usually fish and chips. So it's quite a popular thing to do on the weekend is go down to the beach and have fish and chips. So seafood is quite popular because of that.
Yeah. How common are fish and chip shops?
Very common. Any beach you'll see at least 3. Even in cities and stuff, there's still many fish and chip shops. You know, at least one every 5 kilometres.
Yeah. And we live at Mooloolaba. We live on the Sunshine Coast. And what's special about Mooloolaba?
I'm not sure.
What's the big industry?
Yeah, the big industry is fish.
Yeah. So we have a very large fishing fleet at Mooloolaba.
Australia grows a lot of fruit. We have a lot of farmers in our area. Mangoes, bananas, apples, grapes, oranges are all grown. We also grow strawberries. We have a few farms on the Sunshine Coast. Unfortunately, they've been struggling recently with all the heavy weather we've been having, lots of rain and storms.
Australia also makes the high quality wines and has large beef industry. Australian people eat a lot of beef and drink lots of wine and beer.
Yeah, too much.
Popular snacks are chips, slashed crisps, chocolate bars, lollies, also known as sweets or candy. Many of our snacks include Australian origin things like the Caramelo koalas and eucalyptus lollies. Eucalyptus lollies are made out of our iconic eucalyptus plant.
Right. What other lollies can you guys like to eat?
Skittles, gummy bears, mustics.
So Tim Tams are a much loved chocolate biscuit. It's basically just chocolate biscuits covered in chocolate. So yeah, and it's got a wafer in it. And something I found the other day is that all the Tim Tams that don't work out actually get crushed up and put inside other Tim Tams. But that's one fact I learned.
They get recycled. We're pretty sure that Tim Tams are an Australian product.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks. All right. And that's what we had to talk about food. So thank you very much.
Thank you. This question is in section on
Thanks for your food. And right now on their table, they got the Vegemite on the toast. Can they try it now? Okay?
同学们把那个面包拿出来，快点。
You can try it right now.
Oh, they've got some Vegemite there,
Yeah,
right?
they got the Vegemite.
拿来
Yeah,
放
you
在
can
镜头
try
的
it
前
right
面。
now. Okay? 来试试看，快点，来抬起来，快点试试看，在你旁边拿起来。
You want to give them the instructions again on how much to put on?
手上拿下来没关系，快点。
And they can show you their feelings about the Vegemite later. Okay?
感到很羡慕了。
Do you like it?
Do you like it? Do you like it?
Don't have to be polite. You can tell us what you really think.
It's really salty.
Salty? Salty.
Salty, yeah.
How about you?
Do you like it? No? How about you? Do you like it?
还好，直接讲拿 bad 比较。
How about you? No? Okay.
他们有加很多 butter 了。
Like stinky
tofu.
It tastes like stinky tofu, maybe. And we have our traditional breakfast. You show them our traditional breakfast. We call it Chinese
可以
omelette
拿到
or
前面
egg
来，
pancake.
这个镜头可以拿到这个镜头给他看一下。
This is our traditional breakfast, Chinese omelette or egg pancake. It's served hot, and you can have a lot of fillings inside. You can have ham, some veggies, or bacon, whatever you like. Okay.
Everybody here says that it looks delicious. I had Vegemite for breakfast this morning. You just have a little bit on toast, and it does taste yummy. You get used to it.
Can we see how much you put on there?
How much?
Can you show us
Okay.
how much Vegemite you put on your toast?
你们拿一片到镜头前。
哪一个人？
你们拿一片到。
好，你拿那一片去镜头。
给他看你出了多少。
Is it
Oh,
enough?
but
Is it enough?
it's
Is it enough?
is it toasted
Or
is it
too-
toasted or plain bread?
Too much?
Too much.
Too much?
不是啊，他说 toast 还是那
Oh,
个？
that's good. That's good.
That's good?
It's just, not people. Lots of people don't like it. It's okay.
好，那我换我们同。
Okay, next one is our introduction of the food in Taiwan. And we have Bobo and Jenny. Please come here, okay? Okay, they are going to talk about night markets in Taiwan, where you can try the typical Taiwanese food or snacks.
分享专家。
哎，断掉了。
Now.
Sorry guys, I think I just trying to fix up the PowerPoint presentation for sharing, so bear with us.
We have a technical issues and we are fix it right now, okay?
它是用那个网页版，所以你只要分享那个画面。
那个镜头就是说他们
分享那个图片。
这
你要点那个页面。
中间那一个。
你要点这个页面。
中间那一个。
要点一下。
Hello, I'm Bobo. Now Jenny and I are going to show you night markets in Taiwan. Taiwan is famous for night markets. The first one is pea block cake. Usually you can dip pea block cake with soy sauce and put some coriander and peanut powder on it. It is very delicious. You must try it. The second one is oyster omelet. It is my favorite because there are many oysters in it. Then Sinki tofu smells bad but tastes good. Foreign visitors usually don't want to try it because it smells like garbage. Try it and maybe you will love it. Next one is bubble milk tea. It is from Taichung, my hometown, and become famous around the world. There are sweet cherry tapioca balls and many people enjoy the drinks. Next one is Taiwanese beef noodle. They are a national dish. Competitions are held of beef noodle. The champion beef noodle are in Taipei. Next one is sweet potato balls. They taste sweet and chewy, so many people like to eat them. Now I'd like to hand over to Jenny. Jenny, please.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Now I'm going to show you more interesting things about night markets. Night markets are not only selling food but also selling clothes and daily necessities. Many people buy clothes in night market because the clothes in night market is much cheaper than those in department store. Look at the picture. You can see people shooting the balloon. You need to use a doll to shoot the balloon. If you break 10 balloons, you can pick a toy to take home. This is ring toss. You toss a ring on the item on the shelf, and then you can take it home. Please take a number to order if the snack is so popular that many people want to buy it. You can see many colorful flags in the night market because vendor makes a flag and show their slogan on it. It is just like colorful ocean. Thanks for it.
Okay, so this is the typical Taiwanese food and snacks in night market. And next one, Sean. Okay, so how do you feel about these snacks? Will you try some of them? Will you try some of them? Hello? Nick? Were you a student? Would like to try some of them?
Yes. Yeah.
So which one? Which one are you interested in the most?
Bubble tea.
Bubble tea. So do we have bubble tea shop in Australia?
Yes.
Yes. So what kind of tea or toppings do you like? Bubble tea, black tea, oolong tea, milk tea, or black tea. So how about your ice and sugar? Because we usually have half sugar, less ice. No?
Sour tea,
Nice and loud.
sour tea maybe, grape tea.
Okay. With some tapioca balls. Okay. Sometimes we will put some pudding or jelly inside. Do we have that one? Yes?
Sorry, what was the question?
Jelly, do you have jelly?
Yeah, we have
Oh, yes.
jelly. Yeah, jelly or pudding inside. Do we have that one? That toppings?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Is
sure.
Is the smelly food, what does it smell like?
Stinky tofu?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will ask one of them.
Like leisure nice.
So they think stinky tofu and the Vegemite are the same, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
we would love it then.
Yeah, really? That's good. Any question about the food, the snacks?
Anybody got a question about the food or snacks? Yes?
What's up with the pig blood cake? Why pig blood, not like cow blood or something?
Is it real blood?
Yes. The pig black.
Did they make a cow blood one?
Unsure.
Anybody got any other questions?
Is it just normal tofu, or is that the way to describe it, or is it like the
What tofu?
What kind of tofu?
It's fermented tofu.
They are fermented, so they have a bad smell.
Yes.
Joe,
I
Hank has a question.
土豆的那个球是用颜料还是用色素啊？应该说地瓜球。
The sweet potato balls, you mean that one? Okay.
地瓜球，它是什么？它说那个颜色是怎么来的？
It's natural.
Any question about the food? Okay, then we can move to our food souvenirs.
I do have a question. Where did you buy the Vegemite from?
Okay, where? Also, the Vegemite is from Australia.
Oh, they don't sell it in Taiwan.
Is it?
No, they don't sell it in Taiwan. They don't sell it in Taiwan. We actually got get someone to post it to us.
Cool.
Okay. We might open a Vegemite shop in Taiwan.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for us about Australian food?
他们的食物呢？问他们有没有什么国家 national dish or dessert? Do they have any national dish or dessert?
Do you have national dish dessert?
Do you have any national dish or dessert? Like Lamington, is it your national dessert? Lamington.
I don't think we have it. Not English.
Sorry, fish.
Also like
Yeah.
these apple crumble.
Apple crumble, yeah. When you think, what's a common meal that's served at night. Sausage on bread, yes, but for dinner. What did you have for dinner last night? You had Chinese. What did you have? What did you have for dinner? So, nice and that? Chinese food. So Daisy's parents are both Chinese, so that she eats lots of Chinese food.
I had roast chicken on a roll.
Roast chicken on a roll. Spaghetti. Barbecue. Forgotten what you ate. You didn't eat anything. Pizza.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. And I had KFC because I had a meeting. So what's interesting is that all of those foods are from all different parts of the world. You know, Italian, Chinese, spaghetti, lasagna, etc. So we're very much influenced by different parts of the world. Okay.
Okay. So we can move to our food souvenirs. We can introduce more about Taiwanese food gifts from Taiwan. Maybe one day you come to Taiwan, you can bring some home, okay? So now we have Sean to introduce the food souvenirs. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to introduce food souvenirs. Taiwan. There are 4 famous food gifts you can bring home. The first one is pineapple cakes. They look like squares. They taste sweet and sour because there is pineapple jam inside. The second one is sun cakes. They look like circles. They have many flavors. They taste crispy and sweet like pastry. The third one is egg rolls. They look like cubes. They taste sweet and crunchy. Many kids like them. The fourth one is tea. Taiwan has many kinds of tea, like black tea, green tea, and oolong tea. They smell good. You can eat dessert with your favorite tea. I like pineapple cake and black tea the most. Thank you for listening.
Did you have any questions on the last bit?
Yep, Hank's got a question?
Moon cakes. 月饼. Sorry, the questions again.
Nice and loud.
是月饼吗？
刚刚那个我们介绍的是 Sun Cakes 太阳饼，然后它是那个台中特有的。It's originally from Taichung, the Sun Cake.
If we don't have any more questions on food, then it might be just around a good time to move into our next topic on animals. So, if we're happy to
sorry,
move on,
John.
we can
Sorry,
move into
Kate,
animals.
to disturb you. I think our screen has frozen, so we're going to restart Teams again. So if you give us a moment, we'll restart Teams.
All right, sure. We're heading to the next presentation. John, is everything fine from your end now?
Yep, can you see that screen now?
Yeah, we're all good now. So if John, you guys will take over.
Oh. I think they're frozen on my end. John, are you able to see a chance of psychologist PowerPoint?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Over to you, John.
Awesome. Right. Okay. Are we right to start?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it, girls.
We're going to be talking about the animals of Australia. Australia has many unique animals because it is an isolated island continent. This is the kangaroo in the picture. This is the most iconic Australian animal. We actually have them around our school in the morning, so if you get to school early enough, you'll see them playing around with each other.
And what's happening in this picture?
This is a mother kangaroo with its baby Joey in its pouch. So kangaroos all have pouches where their babies sit.
Excellent.
The next one is the koala, or the koala bear, except it's quite a misleading name because the koala bear isn't actually a bear, it's a marsupial, which is a mammal with a pouch. The koala eats primarily eucalyptus leaves, which were actually mentioned when we talked about the lollies. They're the same things that go into the lollies that we eat. So it makes them poisonous to other predators. And the koala is also a very endangered species.
Do we have koalas around here?
No, not really.
We do have them on the Sunshine Coast though.
Yes.
Yes, but not near school.
But yeah, not near our school, mostly
Yes.
in the more bushy areas of the Sunshine Coast.
Yes.
The next one we have is the dingo. Dingoes live up to 6 years in the wild and 15 years with human care. They're a bit like a wild dog, but not really.
Sorry, you're right? Yep.
Yeah.
So do we have any dingoes around school?
No.
They
Right.
don't live near humans.
No, they've been pushed out by development. Yeah. Does anybody know what's replaced the dingo in some areas? Oh, well, the fox. Yeah.
This is the emu. It is the second largest living bird in the world. It is flightless though, which means it can't fly.
Yeah.
Scary and very big.
This is the saltwater crocodile. They're basically alligators but bigger and stronger. They actually are very, very strong.
And what happens? Can you swim in the waters with crocodiles?
No, but they like to live in areas that like have warm waters, like in Northern Territory.
Have people died being eaten by crocodiles?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went here.
Yes.
Times.
Okay, so the next thing we have is the kookaburra. The kookaburra's laugh is a common sound heard in the Australian bush. Now we have the kookaburra's laugh if you'd like to listen to it.
I don't think that came through. You might need to share audio from your end, Mr. Holden. So if you just hover your mouse towards the top of your PowerPoint, a drop down should pop up.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So if you hover your mouse to the top of your window, a drop down might pop up from Teams, and you'll have an option towards the right. It will have a little square and an audio sign, and it'll ask you to share audio.
include computer sound?
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's try that again. So this is the sound of a kookaburra. Sorry, we'll start again. I had some friends that came from another country to visit, and in the morning they said, we heard monkeys shouting, and we said, well, we don't have monkeys in Australia. So they must have come from a country that had monkeys, and monkeys must use the same sound. So, very funny. So that's the kookaburra. Sorry, girls, I'm taking over from you. Yep.
There's also a lot of native snakes and animals, so they actually keep the snake population down, which is good.
Yes.
Okay, the next one we have is a wombat. Wombats are not common in Queensland, which is where we are in. The northern hairy-nosed wombat is one of the rarest animals in the world, and it is critically endangered. So yeah.
Where might you find most wombat?
Probably out in the outback or lower down, somewhere like Tasmania.
This is the echidna. The echidna is very similar to a hedgehog or any other porcupine creature, except they're one of the only mammals that lay eggs. The echidna is one of the only two species of monitoring, which, yes.
We don't need to go into what a monitoring is.
This is a platypus. Male platypus will have a poisonous stinger on the back of their beaks, and platypus are also the other only mammal that can lay eggs in Australia. So Australia owns both of the only mammals that can lay eggs in the entire world.
Well done.
The next things we have are introduced species. These species were introduced to Australia and have now become pests because they have messed with our ecosystem. The first one, and quite a large one, especially in Queensland, which is where we are, is the cane toad. The cane toad was originally introduced because there were too many cane beetles eating the sugar cane. But this didn't work, as the cane toads thrived and their life cycle didn't match up with the cane beetles. So somebody made a very big mistake because they are now all over Australia. Again, mainly in Queensland because that's where a lot of the sugar cane is grown. And now they thrive very well in our system. So they're commonly seen in Australian backyards, fields, pretty much anywhere.
And what happens if something like a snake eats them?
The cane toads are poisonous, and they're often not brightly coloured, but with warning colours because they have poisonous glands. But things like crows and some snakes have learnt where their poison glands are and have either managed to stay away from the poison when they're eating the toads, or learnt to withstand the poison as they have evolved.
This is the red fox. They were also introduced to Australia, not very sure how, but they have kind of taken over from the dingoes because across the Great Mountain Range, which we have across all of Queensland and New South Wales and some of Victoria, has been a fence being put in to stop dingoes from coming into urban areas. But now, since there's no dingoes to kill off all the foxes have kind of taken over, and now they're thriving in Australia. This is the carpfish. They're also an introduced species, like all of the others we're going to be showing. And they have taken over rivers, and since they're their size, they can eat pretty much anything in Australia. Maybe the sunfish will be too hard to eat, but they can eat tadpoles, fish, about anything that lives in water, which means they've severely messed up our ecosystem.
Good one.
Next one we have is feral pigs. I've never seen one. They aren't very common in Queensland, I think, but they are in other parts of Australia. They can be quite destructive to farmers' plants, livestock, pretty much anything that can be grown, and yeah. The next one we have is camels. These were an introduced species as well, as all of these are, and they mostly live in the Australian outback, which is basically just the desert in the middle of Australia. I believe, I'm not exactly sure, but they were introduced by one man who wanted them in his backyard, but then a whole bunch of them escaped, and they have been breeding, and now there is quite a large number of them all over the desert in Australia.
They were brought into Australia for transport.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Great. Do we have any questions for Australian students?
So was the question, do we have kangaroos at school?
Yeah, John, do you want to ask the Chancellor students, do you want to answer that question? Do you guys have kangaroos in your...
So it's stopping kangaroos in the morning, hopping into our oval or other green spaces that we have. Before that fence was put in, and on nearby fields that the university has nearby, if you wake up early enough or you go to school early enough, you can see kangaroos just kind of hopping around in there.
I walked from school this morning down to London.
Say that again, Martin Lee.
I was walking to school this morning and there was one sitting on the side, and I was scared to walk past in case they jumped in front of us.
Yeah. So yes, there's kangaroos on the fields next to the school, and every now and then they used to jump through the school, hop through the school, and they were even on our college green. But unfortunately, because of security, they've put a huge big fence all around the school, so they can't come into school anymore.
The university, which is sitting next to our school, actually has a project set up that's been going on for a few years now, where they have small devices set near the roads, because many kangaroos in our area hop across the roads to try and get to, there's bushland over the other side. Many of them try and get across at night, and there's been a lot hit by cars. And so since that project has been put in, they've actually seen a reduction, because what the devices do is they send out high-pitched noise, which is just a beep to us. But kangaroos have warned them away from the edge because they don't want to go near that noise. So I thought that was a really interesting project that the university's done.
Good job. Did you have any other questions? No more questions?
No, I think our guys here, they don't have any other questions. So we will now move on to our presentation from our end.
Okay, the next section we will present about the animals originally from Taiwan. And first, let me welcome Wong Jingyao, and he Jingyao, which is online with us. Jingyao, would you please turn on the camera and microphone? 静瑶打开那个麦克风跟那个镜头。And please show us your presentation about Formosan black bear. 静瑶。 Okay, so next. Okay, so in Taiwan, we also have a lot of specific animals, and let's welcome Zixing to introduce national bird of Taiwan. It's called Mikado pheasant.
Hi everyone, I am Chen Jixing. Now it's my turn to introduce the animal in Taiwan. It is called Mikado pheasant. The first is the male bird of Mikado pheasant. The color of whole body is purple blue with pure black feathers. Only the tail feathers have white horizontal stripes. The beak is black, and the color of its feet is dark gray to greenish brown. The next is female bird. It is not as colorful as male bird. Female birds are mostly brown, and there are black horizontal spots on the tail. Mikado pheasant mainly eat grassy and berries. However, during the breeding season or severe winter, they will also eat meat, ants, earthworms, and beetles. Because Mikado pheasant is national bird of Taiwan, you can see the bird on the 1,000 banknote. Also, Mikado pheasant is on the fan painting to show that we value them a lot. Nowadays, we have to wear a mask as long as we go outside. So, Mikado pheasant can also be seen on mask. I think it's very cute. Before ending the presentation, I want to share a video clip with you.
The Mikado pheasant is an endangered species of bird endemic to Taiwan. With their numbers low, it's only natural that they aren't easy to spot. That's why it must have been an unforgettable moment for one bird watcher when he recently spotted both a male and a female in the mountains of Taichung as they were looking for food. Even if you're not a bird expert, you might find the bird a little bit familiar, at least if you've ever seen Taiwanese currency. That's because an image of these birds is on every 1,000 NT dollar bill. The bird watcher who found the birds says that although March to April is their mating season, they are still not the kind of birds you see often, and so he was lucky to have spotted them. The Mikado pheasant is mostly found at high altitudes and remote mountain areas, places such as the Central Mountain Range and Yushan National Park. The Forestry Bureau warns people to avoid damaging the bird's habitat or scaring the birds if they are ever lucky enough to come across them. Shirley Lin, RTI News. The Mikado.
It is the end of my presentation. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
And next, Charlotte will introduce the Formosan macaque with you.
Hello everyone, I'm Charlotte. Now I'm going to introduce Formosan macaque.
although it has its own scientific name. We all call it Taiwan monkey. There are some interesting stories that I want to share with you. In Taiwan, there is a university called National San Yat-sen University. You can look at the pictures here. In the campus, lots of Formosan macaques stole students' breakfast when they came to school, and after school, they broke into the teacher's office. Because of this, some netizens say the monkeys work overtime. As for their eating habits, Taiwan monkeys eat fruits, leaves, twigs, insects, snails, bird eggs, mulberry, mountain jute, and persimmon. And the place that Taiwan monkey lives is from the low-altitude forest to the high-altitude forest. In addition, they usually live in coniferous forest, broad-leaved forest, mixed forest, or orchards in the morning. When you want to find the monkeys at night, they may live on trees or rocks, and they also live in some of the national parks in Taiwan. This is a brief introduction of Formosan macaque. Hope you enjoy my presentation. Thank you.
Do you have any questions about animals in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Can you keep those animals as pets?
No, we can't.
No, we can't because the animal is about the national animals in Taiwan, so we can't keep it as pets.
Would you ever see any of those animals in your school or nearby?
No, because they live on the mountain, so we can see them.
Yeah, because the animals live on the mountains, so it's not around the campus. We have to go to the mountains to see them. But Charlotte just introduced the Formosan macaque, and if you are in the college at Kaohsiung, you'll see the monkeys around the campus and like stole your breakfast and your food. Yes, and any question else?
Sorry, what was the question? Anybody else got any other questions? Yes?
In your zoo, do you like have both animals in it?
We can only see monkeys in the zoo, but not the birds.
Do you have any Australian animals in your zoos?
Koala. And we have penguins.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I have a question. So, can you just hug the koalas if you see them? Can you hug them?
澳大利亚的动物，所以如果你愿意去，它一般都是在树上睡着。你如果愿意爬树去抱它们，可以。
Okay, that's interesting. Hey, do you have questions about animals or food?
Sorry, Daisy. No, you just had something to say. Go.
如果你就看到一个，那 不可以抱，因为他们就大部分时候都在睡觉或者在吃东西，然后再说他们不是人那个就 train 的，所以可是如果是在动物园有时候那些动物园的那些人会让你抱的，因为动物园已经把他们 train 过了。
Oh, so it might be wild, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, did you have any more questions for us?
So you can ask food or animals. Do you have any questions?
And I've heard about that your school there are crocodiles in your school. There are crocodiles. No. Okay.
We've got them in the zoos, but we don't have them in our school because they're
We have kangaroos at our school.
Tell them about Australia.
Just kangaroos.
They go around
So Australia Zoo is a very popular zoo that has lots of crocodiles, and it's on the Sunshine Coast. It's near our school.
There's a crocodile at the Sunshine Coast, and his name's Monty. And I don't know if you guys have heard that it's about someone called Steve Irwin, and he died in 2008, was it? I don't know. From a stingray, and Monty was one of his first crocodiles that he actually got to meet and work with.
So there are crocodiles on the Sunshine Coast, but only in a zoo.
Okay, thank you.
If they would like to use Chinese to ask a question, they are welcome to.
你们宵夜吃什么？你们宵夜吃什么？
He meant that do you eat some snakes at night in the evening? Because we have night market, so they usually go to night market to get something to eat. For example, some French fries, some fried chicken, bubble teas, and so on. So, do you have the snakes that you would eat at night?
You want to answer, Jason? No. So, yeah, go for it.
Well, in Australia, at least on the Sunshine Coast and in Queensland, we don't have night markets like you guys. So, we do?
No, not really.
Well, we don't have them as intense as you guys do.
Yeah.
Like
We have restaurants that you might go to on a Saturday or a Friday night on the weekend, but generally people cook their own meals at home and stay home in the evening.
What we often do have though is in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday, I know many people only get their produce at a farmer's market. I know Fisherman Road Market is very popular with people on the Sunshine Coast, and you can go there and you can get baked goods and other foods. Recently there's been a lot of multicultural stalls because a lot of people have been collecting that. So,
Hank, what were you going to say?
There's night corners, and when you go there, they're usually adults with beer.
Yeah, you want to translate?
就是这儿有屏风，然后在这儿有好多的一个晚会或者什么的，然后有好多大人去那儿喝酒，然后听音乐。
Okay. Did you have any more questions?
a question about the weather. You are in winter right now. Do we have snow this year? Do we have snow this year?
No, if you like, I can show you what this is. So we're in winter now. If I turn the camera, you can see outside. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 23 degrees outside. So this is us in winter, and you can see only half of them have got jumpers on. So it's quite warm in winter. Go for it.
So I come from a place called Tasmania. It's another state in Australia, and Tasmania at the moment is one of the coldest places in Australia. And currently there is snow there, and lots of people are getting hypothermia and getting really cold and sick because of it.
Yep.
就是如果你这个地方是更那个北方的地方，那会更热，在更南的地方，就因为我们在昆士兰，所以我们是上面的地方。可是那个比如说塔斯马尼亚在下面一点，跟那个维多利亚也一样的，所以他们在下雪。
描述一下 the weather in Taiwan.
The weather in Taiwan right now is hot and humid. And we have a lot of rain.
Any question about today's topics or other things?
Any last questions? We're out of time, unfortunately. No. We're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, see you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you Friday.
See you on Friday.
Bye. Thanks, Kitty.